So today we are doing Joshua 11 through 15. We're following along in the Year in the Bible Women's Study Guide, and we're going to jump right in. When the king Jabin of Hazor heard what had happened, he sent messages to the following kings: King Jobab of Madon, the king of Shimron, the king of Ashaph, all the kings of the northern hill country, the kings of the Jordan Valley south of Galilee, the kings in the Galilean foothills, the king of Nahath Dor on the west, the kings of Canaan both east and west, the kings of the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites in the hill country, and Hivites in the towns of the slopes of the Mount Hermon in the land of Mizpah. All these kings came out to fight. Their combined armies formed a vast horde, and with all their horses and chariots they covered the landscape like the sand on the seashore. The kings joined forces and established their camp around the water near Memron to fight against Israel. My apologies. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid of them. By this time tomorrow I will hand all them over to Israel as dead men. Then you must cripple their horses and burn their chariots." So Joshua and all his fighting men traveled to the water near Meron, and attacked suddenly, and the Lord gave them victory over their enemies. The Israelites chased them as far as Greater Sidon and Misrephoth Maim, and eastward into the valley of Mizpah, until not one enemy warrior was left alive. Then Joshua crippled the horses and burned all the chariots as the Lord had instructed. Joshua turned back and captured Hazor and killed its king. Hazor had at one time been the capital of all these kingdoms. The Israelites completely destroyed every living thing in the city, leaving no survivors. Not a single person was spared. And then Joshua burned the city. Joshua slaughtered all the other kings and their people, completely destroying them, just as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded. But the Israelites did not burn any of the towns built on the mountain except Hazor, which Joshua burned, and the Israelites took all the plunder and livestock of the ravaged towns for themselves. But they killed all the people, leaving no survivors, as the Lord had commanded his servant Moses. So Moses commanded Joshua, and Joshua did as he was told, carefully obeying all the commands that the Lord had given to Moses. So Joshua conquered the entire region, the hill country, the entire Negev, the whole area town of Goshen, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, the mountain of Israel, and the Galilean foothills. The Israelite territory now extended all the way from Mount Halak, which leads up to Seir in the south, as far as Baal-Gad at the foot of the Mount Hermon in the valley of Lebanon. Joshua killed all the kings of the territories, waging war for a long time to accomplish this. No one in the region made peace with the Israelites except the Hivites of Gibeon. All the others were defeated, for the Lord hardened their hearts and caused them to fight the Israelites, so they were completely destroyed without mercy, as the Lord had commanded Moses. During this period, Joshua destroyed all the descendants of Anak, who lived in the hill country of Hebron, Debir, Anab, and the entire hill country of Judah and Israel. He killed them all and completely destroyed their towns. I apologize, you guys. It is really late. But we gotta finish this. None of the descendants, Anab and the entire country of Judah and Israel. He killed them all and completely destroyed their towns. None of the descendants of Anak were left in the land of Israel, though some still remained in Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod. So Joshua took control of the entire land, just as the Lord had instructed Moses. He gave it to the people of Israel as their special possession, dividing the land among the tribes, so the land finally had rest from war. Chapter 12. These are the kings east of the Jordan River who had been killed by the Israelites and whose land was taken. Their territory extended from Enon Gorg to Mount Hermon and included all the land east of the Jordan Valley. King Sihon of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, was defeated. Oh my goodness. His kingdom included Aroer on the edge of Arnon Gorge and extended from the middle of the Arnon Gorge to the Jabbok River, which serves as a border for the Amorites. This territory included the southern half of the territory of Gilead. Sihon also controlled the Jordan River and regions to the east, from as far north as the Sea of Galilee and as far south as the Dead Sea, including the road to Jeshimoth, and southward to the slopes of Pigash. King Og of Bashan, the land of the Rephites, lived in Ashtaroth and Edrei. He ruled the territory stretching from Mount Hermon to Salcah in the north, and all of Bashan in the east, and westward to the borders of the kingdoms of Geshur and Makkah. This territory included the northern half of Gilead as far as the boundary of King Sihon of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the Israelites had destroyed the people of King Sihon and King Og, and Moses gave their land as a possession to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. The following is a list of the kings that Joshua and the Israelite armies defeated on the west side of the Jordan, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak, which leads up to the Seir. Joshua gave this land to the tribes of Israel as their possession. Including the hill country, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, and the mountain slopes, the Judean wilderness, and the Negev. The people who lived in the region were the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are the kings of Israel defeated: the king of Jericho, the king of Ai near Bethel, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezer, the king of Debir, the king of Geder, the king of Hormah, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adullam, the king of Makkedah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tapu, the king of Hepher, the king of Aphak, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazar, the king of Shimron, the king of Akshaph, the king of Tanakh, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kadesh, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, the king of Dor in the town of Naphthdor, the king of Goyim in Gilgal, the king of Tisra, and all 31 kings were defeated. We're going to stop there for tonight. Tomorrow is a really super short reading, so we're going to finish chapter 13 through 15 tomorrow, just because I am struggling to get through this. So yeah, we read 11 and 12 tonight. We'll do 13 through 15 tomorrow. Have a good night.